Zealots, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The war in Mali just took a very strange turn. For a long time, foreign countries told us that the trouble in our desert was just local fighting. They said it was just poor local groups angry at the government and they want the government to leave. But you cannot hide the truth when it is made of iron and copper. Malian soldiers were digging in the sand in the northern part after a heavy battle. They did not just find old guns, they dug up something that shocked them. They found a brand new military drone buried in the desert. When they cleaned the mud off the parts, they saw something that changes the whole story. They found factory numbers stamped right into the metal. Those numbers do not lead to a desert camp. They lead straight back to the big factories inside you. This is the smoking gun. You can argue with a speech, but you cannot argue with a piece of metal that has a factory stamp on it. They told us that our leaders have been fabricating issues. The wire that cannot be blocked. They talked about why this specific drone is causing so much panic in the capitals of Europe right now. Normally, a drone flies using radio waves. The pilot sits far away and sends a wireless signal through the air to steer it. Because of this, the Malian army can use special trucks to block the airwaves. When the signal is blocked, the drone goes blind and crashes into the dirt. But the drone they just dug out of the ground does not use radio waves. That's the shocking part of it. It carries a giant spool of tiny glass wire on its back. As it flies, it lets out this wire behind it. The signals travel down the physical wire, not through the air. Think about what that means. 1, there are no airwaves to block. 2, no radio jammer on earth can stop it. 3, it flies straight to its targets completely immune to our defenses. A regular local fighter who lives in a tent cannot build this. You cannot buy a glass wire drone on the blank market with cattle or cash. This is a top tier 2026 military technology. Someone with deep pockets and a big army handed this weapon to them. So, the time that they tell us that our all-in-alls have been fabricating issues is finally over with evidence. So, who is actually moving these machines into Africa? The answers obviously are starting to come out in the public courtrooms, not in secret rumors like they made it seem. This very month, a top court in Bamako sat down for a major trial. They did not put a rebel on the stand. They put a French embassy official in the hot seat. Malian intelligence officers caught this foreign official hiding in a room. Ever since these attacks started happening in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, our all-in-alls have been pointing a finger at France, saying France is the reason behind all the destabilization. And we have the mainstream media denying. The people themselves are saying that it's because of lack of what they are not able to do. That's why they are pointing fingers at other people, and they are innocent. But what the Malian armed forces just found out shows that these things that our leaders have been saying is not only linked to France, but the entire Europe. Let's use common sense here. The countries are helping these rebels are currently broke. They rely on foreign aid just to keep their own lives on. They do not have spare millions to buy glass wire drones for people in the Sahara. The real cash is coming from the bigger European trade blocs. Just this year, Europe announced a massive €6 billion fund to build millions of new drones. And guess what specific types of drones they are building with that money? There's that same unjammable wire drones and suicide drones that our soldiers are digging out of the Malian sand. A member of the European Parliament even stood up on the floor and screamed at his colleagues. He asked them why European taxpayer money and factory weapons are leaking directly into Africa to cause chaos. The receipts are all here. Why do they care so much about a patch of sand in Mali? They spend billions on drones for a war that is thousands of miles away from Europe. Is it always about the riches under the soil? Mali is sitting on some of the biggest gold mines in the world. Even bigger than that, our ground is full of lithium. Lithium is the new oil. Every big tech company needs it for phone batteries, electric cars, and modern weapons. For 60 years, the deal was simple. They take our gold and our lithium for cheap, sometimes for free. We stay poor and ask them for help. Their factories get rich while our people suffer. But the recent Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso leaders joined hands. They formed a new team called the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. They stood up and said, the old deal is over. We are kicking out your foreign armies, closing your bases, and selling our gold to whosoever gives us a fair price. The moment we decided to keep our own wealth, we became a problem to the Europeans. The drones and the secret embassy spies are just tools to keep our homes too dangerous to live in. So we get tired and give them back their cheap contracts. This has been the narrative for Africa for all these decades. This is no longer a small fight against local bandits. This is a highly technical war against outside forces who do not want to see Africa grow up. Our leaders are warning everyone to stop being naive. When a rebel fighter are surrounded, we cannot just give him a hug and let him join the army. A man who was trained by foreign spies inside Europe is a walking time bomb. The good news is that the old days of hiding these secrets are gone. By putting the serial numbers, the courtroom verdict, and the factory names on the internet, Mali is showing the whole world the truth. We are finally taking control over our own resources, our own defense, and our own story. The time to be under the mercy of other people, we are saying, is finally over. So now, Mali has shocked Europe, silenced everybody, and the truth is no longer the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso promised ABC and they couldn't deliver. And that is why they are looking for people to blame their failure on with this new evidence. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Mali.